Hello everyone, today we are going to find out how to buy a gaming PC and what to look for while searching for parts. I help you not overspend and get those FPS with the best use of your money. First thing first, please pause the video now and think about the budget. It is very important. Please set a budget and stick to it. Overspending isn't going to help you. Parts time. Okay, now we have a budget and we have to get the parts. Now the central part of a gaming PC is of course the graphics card. This is the most used one in modern games. It is generally the one that gets dated faster. It is also the most expensive. RTX 2080 Ti. How much of your budget should you spend on it? Obviously every single penny. No, really don't. Well, you should only spend about 35 to 50% of your budget on it. Remember, this will literally decide the frame rate of your games, but other parts matter as well. Now, as most PC builders have quite a lot of money, depression sounds. I am not one of them. Fatality. We are going to work with a fictional budget of $1,500. Nice. For the average person, the best GPU for future proofing is the 70 series from Nvidia or the 700 XT from AMD. Basically, the GPU that has a 7 in the naming. These cards cost about $500, but if you have the budget, will get you a solid 3-4 years of maxed out games and at least 60 FPS for that smooth gameplay. The next one on the list is the CPU. This is apparently the heart of the system, but I think it's mostly the brain. Here we should be looking for at least a 6 core for future proofing yourself. Yes, today 8 threads are still enough for games, but that can change. Make sure that the platform that you're going with, be that Intel or AMD, has the possibility of upgrading in the future. This helps a lot that you don't have to buy a new motherboard when you decide to get a better CPU. Intel, I'm looking at you. On the CPU, you should use about 25-30% of the budget. Today I recommend going with the Ryzen processors. For that they have a great value and come with the latest features as PCIe Gen 4, etc, etc. Also RTX 3000 needs the PCIe Gen 4 bandwidth as it has a lot of power. Okay, and now we have the CPU cooler. For AMD CPUs you can use the integrated Rave cooler, and for Intel, as long as you don't try to overclock the CPUs, you can use the stock cooler of non-K parts and the tower cooler for the K parts, like the Cooler Master Hyper 212. This should keep your CPU very cool. Wink. Next one is the motherboard. Today, most CPUs are already pushed to the max, especially AMDs. This means that if you go with the Team Red, you can get away with any motherboard that has the feature that you want, as overclocking is honestly insufficient to justify paying the premium. Make sure that the motherboard that you choose can support the CPU that you have and that has an upgrade path for the future better CPUs. RAM is up next, and here you should get the cheapest kit of not the fastest but like average fast. In dual channel, that means the kit has at least 2 sticks. This is important as dual channel memory does increase the potential of your CPU. Of course you are looking at the sexy 64GB kit from GSKill. No, get the cheap one. For SSDs, I recommend going for a 500GB or 1TB drive, either NVMe or SATA free. The difference is speed, and you might have to think if you can do something with that. An NVMe SSD will load game faster, but with a maximum of 10 to 15%. But please get an SSD. Just trust me, you don't wanna have just a hard drive in 2020. It's very slow. For mass storage, you can get a 1 or 2TB hard drive for a games library. Remember to install your operating system, like Linux or Windows, on the SSD, not the hard drive. Now comes the PSU. This is the beating heart of your system, as it supplies juice for the rest of the components. Now, you can use one of these PSU calculators as they do a decent job, but in general you need from 450 to 650 watts. Now, if the PSU that you buy is made by a reputable brand like Seasonic, Corsair, EVGA and Be Quiet, then you can even go as low as 450 watts. I recommend 500 or 550 for future proofing. Now attention, do not cheap out on a PSU. Would you like a cheap heart? Me neither. It is critical part, and if it fails, it can destroy the rest of the system. Do not buy PSU for under 50 bucks if you can. Make sure that you have at least an 80 plus bronze rating. The last part is obviously the case. Now here, pay attention. I know you have eye contact with a superb tempered glass RGB case and you want to buy her a drink, but no. You are looking for a ventilated case with a mesh front panel and at least 2 fans. If your preferred case only comes with 1 fan, make sure to buy another or 2 to ventilate properly the case. Also stay away from tempered glass front panel cases if you can. These usually are badly designed for airflow and you can end up with less performance and lifetime of the components. Look at the reviews, please. RGB there. And boom! Now we have a guide to buying the balanced PC that will help you destroy those noobs in Valorant or aid you in discovering the night city of Cyberpunk 2077. If I see this video has a lot of attention, I will follow suit with the one for the editors and the one for work PC. If you want to see them, consider getting subscribed and leave a like, it does help me a lot. And thanks for watching and see you in the next one.